Right. Welcome. Today we want to proceed with our lecture on the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority Terms Self-Service Portal. Right. So yesterday we saw how to set up an account for a person we can call a public officer. And today we just want to look at registrations. I think we're going to look at two registrations, how to do those registrations before we proceed on how to use terms. So once that account has been set up, as I said yesterday, you can then log into your terms portal. And for you to do that, you just Google up like what I did here. I looked up the terms, then I looked it up. Right. I looked up the terms, then I'm logging in. So I've just clicked. This is an online, so you should have internet for you to access the website. So I'm just waiting for it to load to load up so that I can log in with my credentials. So the credentials that you used to create that public office account, you should remember those credentials, which are a username and a password. So I'm waiting for it to bring up the portal page so that I can log in. So, right, once the portal page has come up, I can now put my login details. So you must not forget these login details. Of course, you can always reset like your password, but it's good for you to remember them. So I'm just logging in there, right? So this is something that you do before you use your terms, right? So let me just put in the password. So I'm putting in the username. I'm also putting in the password. Once I do that, I then click on login. In this case, it's saying that my password is incorrect. So I just have to cross-check it and see. I might have left something out. Probably I'm not sure. I should have probably left that. Yes. So I'd left that. So I'm just going to save that so that next time I do not have to worry about that. So when you log in, what the system does, it will send you a verification code either to your phone number or to your email. So you just have to look up either on your mobile phone. You just look up on your mobile phone number, or you just look up in your email. In my case, I'm just using my email. So this is the verification code which came through. So I'm just putting up that verification code. I'm inputting it. This process, you always do it. Each time you are to use the terms portal. This process, you always do it. You have to log in. So you should have a username and a password. Then what it does when you log in, it will send a verification code. So if you do not have access to the email which was used to sign up for the account, it means you have to contact the person who has got that email so that they can give you the verification code and so that you can enter it. So this is basically the interface. This is not the full interface because why I haven't registered any business. I haven't registered any organization. But this is the home, and here is your home. And as I said yesterday, you can register as an individual. You may be an individual who is into business. You may register as a taxpayer, as an individual. This is not an employee. It's a person who is conducting business and wants to be paying taxes and claiming some taxes. Right? You can register as an organization. This one is meant if you are registering as a completely new organization which never registered with the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority before, right? You can register as a representative of deceased taxpayer, mostly to manage deceased estates, because there are certain taxes which are paid. If you are appointed to manage a deceased estate, you would need to register so that you also handle the tax affairs of that. Then you register with the existing BP number. Here you are registering. This business was already before the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority moved to the Tarms system. It was using SAP before. So if you were already registered on the SAP system, and now you are moving to Tarms, you just register using this because you've got an existing PP number. So I'm going to probably let me look at how to register as a new organization. So we can just click there. Right. Then you have to, when you click there, we are registering as a completely new, or in other words, what I'm saying is that we never registered with the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority. This is the first time to do that. So when you click on register as an organization, you are taken to this window. Then you have to select the type of business. So you've got business organization registration with company registration number. So this is your either a private company or a public company. But what it has a registration number. Okay, how does it work? When you register your company with the registrar of companies, that company is given a number. Be it a public company, it has a number. A private company, it has a number. So if your company is that form, you have to register using this. Business organization registration without company registration number. You may have a business which doesn't have a registration number, really. So you could register using that. Government organization registration, non-profit making organization registration, company with diplomatic privileges. So you have to select the type of organization or entity that you want to register for. Terms. Normally, businesses will use this one. So you click business organization with company registration number. Then you are taken to this window. Yes, the public officer has been appointed. It is asking you this because this is a new business. You have to appoint a public officer. So if a public officer has been appointed by the directors, as I said, the public officer has to be one of the company directors. Uh, so if a public officer has been appointed, you just click on yes. Is the appointed public officer resident in Zimbabwe? We're just going to say yes. So some of these things, they are self-explanatory. You're just reading through and you are answering accordingly. Is the appointed public officer a signatory to the entity's bank account? I'm just going to say yes, right? So I'm just putting up that. Then I click on open. Okay. So you are answering those questions depending with the information which is there. Zimra, if you are to register, you must have appointed a public officer who will be representing the company or interfacing with the Zimra on behalf of the company. So the first page is a general information page where you are putting the information of the business. So, okay, let me just show you through. Uh, uh, because we do not have an entity to register, I'm just going to show you so that you appreciate. So here, what you do is you put the registration number. And once you put the registration number, you can check it because this Tarms is linked up to the registrar of companies. So whatever number you put up there, if you check it up, the system will tell you if the organization exists or doesn't exist, right? Registered name. Then, of course, when you check, it will bring up the registered name and you can always put a trade name there. Date of incorporation. This is the date on which this organization was registered with the registrar of companies. Then the date of commencement of trade. This is the date on which it started trading. You may register a company in January 2026 with the register of companies, but then it doesn't trade. Let's say it doesn't trade there and there. Probably it goes for 6 months without trading, then probably it begins trading on 1 June 2026. It means the date of commencement of trade will be 1 June. Primary activity, you then select what the business does is primary activity. Then you also select the activity there. Then if there are any other activities, then you also add, you just click there, then you add as many as you want. If there is a special category, special in the sense that either a licensed investor, exporting manufacturing company, and so forth. If you are under probably an industrial park developer and so on. So these things you must have been licensed for them, for you to claim them. For you to claim the special category, you must have a license from the responsible government entity. which shows that you have got this special category. For private and public companies, mostly they don't. Okay, of course, a company can be an exporting manufacturing company, a holder of special mining lease, and so on. If you hold this, you must have the papers which shows that you have that, so that you can select the special category accordingly. Entity subtype, you have to select here. Is it a public registration? Is it a private company? Is it a private business corporation? Is it a trust registration, partnership registration, general branch of a foreign business organization? So you have to select the entity subtype, or the nature of the business. Is it a public company? Right. Then here you are putting in the addresses. These are the details. So this information you've got, all this information, you're selecting the information. Same for postal address. If this address is the same as the postal address, you say yes. If you say no, then you have to put in the details of the postal address. Right. Contact details, then you have to put in the contact details there. Phone number, email address. If there is a website, you put up that. Right. So if you have got this asterisk, this red asterisk sign, what it means is that this field is mandatory. You can't proceed without this field. Then here you are putting in the details of the directors. So you've got your directors or trustees or secretariat details. If they are non-resident, you are clicking on non-resident. If they are resident, you are clicking on that. Then you are putting up their details as much as you can. Then again, you are putting in the preferred contacts up there. Then you are putting here, you are coming down here, you are putting the details of the public officer details. So you can see here, these are the details I used to register for this account. So the system, what it does now, it automatically picks those details. Because as I said, the details or the credentials which are to be used to open this Tarms account is for the public officer. A public officer who is either a trustee, a director, a company secretary. Right? So you have to add the other details, but most of the details the system will pick. So when you click on submit, it will take you to the next page. It's only that probably, yes, it will take you to the next page where you have to put in more details. The information is self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory. You have to put bank details. Then you have to attach the company papers and everything. Once you have registered, because as I said, this is a new business, you'll be issued with a TIN number or a tax identification number. Once you've completed this registration, you are issued with a TIN number or a tax identification number. And you would find you can then select your tax heads, the taxes that you have to be paying to the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority. So because we need a registered company there for us to proceed, that's where our problem is. This has to be an existing company which never registered with the Zimra, with the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority. So we can't proceed with this. We could probably try to, let me see here. Let me try to go back. We could probably, okay, let's say register as an organization. Then you probably select without a company number. Say yes, say yes, yes, say yes. Then you click open. I want to see if it allows us to enter the registration details without the company number, right? So okay, now I think we can just let me see if I can proceed with this, right? So here we are putting in the date of incorporation. We can put today's date. Then here, this is the date the business began trading, right? Then here, we are selecting a sector. Let's say probably it's a manufacturing company. Then here, we then select what do we manufacture. In this case, we'll be saying we are just manufacturing basic chemicals. If we had other activities here, probably besides manufacturing basic chemicals, we are into transport, we could just add those other activities by just clicking there and selecting the relevant, like in this case, we could say transportation and storage. Probably we've got a division which does that. Then we could probably freight transport by road. So we are adding these activities. And if we had a special category, we could select that. In this case, we're not going to select that. Then we could come here and select the entity subtype. In this case, we could just say, uh, right, let me see if it allows me to pick, right, uh, I'll just pick, let me pick cooperative registration. Right. So I'm picking, you could see here, there is no public company, there is no private company. Why? Because we selected a company which doesn't have a registration number. If we had selected a company with a registration number, then you were going to see private company, public company, and so on. So I'm just selecting cooperatives registration. Then here I could put in the details. Country, in this case, will be Zimbabwe. Then I could just select my province. Then I could select my town there, probably put up a building number. Then I could just say same as for postal. Then I could just save there. It picks up that. Then, okay, I could just leave all these other details if I don't mind. Then I could come here and put in the preferred contact details, right? If there was a website, I could just put up the website there. Then here I could come and put the details of, okay, let me put non-resident, because I'm trying to avoid, if I put resident, I then have to put the actual people, their ID numbers, because as I said, the system is linked up with the registrar of birth, the registrar who is in charge of birth and IDs and everything. So you have to, if you say the person is resident, you have to actually put in an existing ID so that the system checks and can verify. Now, I'm just going to put non-resident, then I'm just going to put up a number. It won't matter because the system doesn't have a database of all the nationalities. So I could just pick up that, then address, province, I select my province, Harare province, I select my city, Harare, then I could just put up, I'm just putting up these numbers. This is mandatory. Then I could just say yes, same as that, so that I do not have to. Then I could just pick up that and put up that email. Right. Then the public officer is already selected. We just need to probably put up the province as well as select the city, then all other details. Then we just say same as for postal. Then here we are done. Now, once we have done this, we could add a branch if we have got, because this one, we are sort of registering for head office. So if we had branches, we could just click here to add them, right? So we are not adding branches, and so we could add branches here. As you can see, then you have to put in the branch name and all that, and then save. We are going to cancel. We are not going to add branches. So once we have put in that, we then just have to say, I hereby declare that the information given here is correct and hereby apply for registration. If we are happy with all this information, we can then continue and submit this information, right? So we could just submit, we then probably submit this. I'm just going to submit. Then it will prompt me, are you sure you want to submit? Then I could just say yes. So, okay, I'm doing with a non-registered operation. Then it could say operative registration application for Samsung James with the application reference number. So this reference number is coming from Zimra, is successfully submitted. Then I just click on okay. Right. So I have submitted my application for the registration of my business. So the system will do what it does. Then it will open up this. So this is my portal. When I log in, you'd find next time when I log in, you are going to find that I'll be taken into this. When I log in next time, I'll be taken into this. So This is just the initial registration process. I hope you have understood it. I'm going to stop here for now. As I said, when you join a business, an existing organization, the registration could have been done already. You are just going to be using Tarms. You're just going to be using Tarms to manage the tax years for that particular organization. So for now, I'm going to stop here on the registration process. We can't register with an actual business because once we register that business, then it becomes compliant. It has to comply with the Zimra laws, with the tax laws of Zimbabwe. So for demonstration, I just registered in a non-registered, a cooperative business, so that you just see how the process works. So I'm stopping here. We'll continue with the taxes in the next lecture. Thank you.